This year flew by super duper fast. We are now in December 2023. I find that every year around this time, I like to sit down by myself and reflect on everything that happened this past year. This helps me set some new goals for the upcoming year. There are lots of things that I still want to accomplish in both my personal and business life. And I'm sure that you guys want the same. As humans, we all want something in our lives. We have big goals, big dreams. And a few days ago on Instagram, I asked you guys, do you want me to do a video explaining how to set proper goals, but most importantly, how to accomplish all our goals? 100% of you guys responded with yes, so that brings me to this video today. I want to share with you one thing, just one very important thing that you can apply today, right now, when you are setting your goals for the new year that will help you achieve everything that you want. So I've been in business for 6 years coming up, and it's crazy to think that I have achieved so many things that I didn't think that I was capable of achieving at all. If you asked me 6 years ago whether or not it was possible to make over $10 million, I would have thought that was a complete joke. I would have thought, no, that's crazy. That's impossible. That's, that like you're dreaming. But this is exactly what I have achieved last year. Not even this year. I achieved this in 2022, where my business has generated over $10 million. Now, I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, but I am saying this because I know that you guys can also achieve a lot. You can have anything and everything you want in your life. But truthfully, it all comes down to you. I can give you guys the recipe to make $1 million. I can give you step-by-step training, guide, courses, knowledge, value, videos. I can write a book about this. I can go on and talk about how to make a lot of money or how to achieve everything you want in your life. But at the end of the day, truthfully, it comes down to you and taking action to get to where you want to be. So if you just pay attention to this one thing that I am about to share with you in this video, I promise you, you will see some sort of success and you will get to the next level. So this idea all came back to one day when I was having a conversation with my girlfriend. So my girlfriend, she really wants to lose weight. She's had 2 kids, and growing up, she always had a hard time managing her weight. A lot of people want to lose weight. So she always asked me, how do you find the energy to work out 5 days a week? How do you do so much cardio? How do you go to hot yoga classes? How do you have time to lift weights? These are all things that I do in my personal life to stay in shape. In fact, I barely gained any weight since high school. Now, this video isn't about gaining weight or losing weight. It has nothing to do with fitness, but I want to give you this example because you can apply it to every area of your life. So I asked her, okay, let's start with, what is your goal? What is that magical number that you are thinking about in your head that is going to make you happy? How much do you want to weigh? And I'm not going to give out numbers on how much she wants to weigh, but she told me she wants to lose 30 pounds. She's like, yes, I want to lose 30 pounds by next month. And I look at her and I'm thinking, that is impossible. And even if that were possible, you are going to be very unhealthy, and that is not the proper way to lose weight. So again, this is not about losing weight or fitness, but I want to make a point here, and this is going to apply to every area of your life when you are trying to set goals for specific things. And that is, you guys need to set goals for yourselves that are realistic and attainable. If you are someone that comes to me, and this happens very often, you guys, I have people in my DMs and they tell me, Tamara, if I start my Amazon FBA business, will I make $1 million by next year? And my answer is no, that is very unlikely. I mean, is it possible? Yes. I've probably only seen this happen once or twice out of tens of thousands of people that started their Amazon FBA business. So in reality, that is not achievable and that is very hard to attain. So when you guys set goals for yourself, you have to be very realistic and truthful and honest with what you want. I mean, yes, we all want $10 million, right? But let me tell you, when I set my goal to make $10 million, I didn't do that on day one. So I got into business in 2018. I started my YouTube channel. I was selling a lot of products on Amazon. That's what this channel is focused on, making passive income, selling on Amazon. And then I started uploading YouTube videos, teaching other people how to do the same, because starting this business can set you financially free. But my first goal was not $10 million. In fact, my $10 million goal did not seem possible at all until 2021. So I started in 2018, and what I did was I set very small, achievable, attainable, realistic goals that I know are possible. So this is everyone's issue, I think, when it comes to goal setting. You guys set goals that are very unrealistic, and I'm sorry to break it to you, but if this is you, you are going to end up being very disappointed. And this is when we start to feel bad about ourselves, we start to give up, we start to blame other people, we start to call other business models a scam. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, did you set the right goals for yourself? Or are you just being a little delusional and you are not setting realistic goals and numbers for yourselves that are actually achievable? So if we go back to my friend who wanted to lose 30 pounds, I helped her start with setting smaller, more realistic goals. So this is the number one thing you need to do. You have to set a realistic goal. Now you might be thinking, okay, Tamara, but what is a realistic goal? And how do I go from setting a realistic goal to the ultimate goal, right? Like, how do I go from wanting to make $10,000 a month to $10 million a year? So obviously, you guys know you don't do this within a year. A lot of people cannot achieve this within a year. But can you achieve that over a span of 5 years or 10 years? Possibly. There's a higher possibility, right? So if we go back to my friend's weight loss journey, I told her, I think what is a good goal to start, and I'm not a fitness guru by any means, it's just I love to work out and I have been working out consistently Monday to Friday and sometimes the weekends since my late teenage years. So, and I've never missed a year. So I think I know what I'm talking about here. Anyways, I was helping her set a realistic goal. So in her case, I said, I think it's realistic to set a goal from anywhere around 3 to 5 pounds per month. And this is not going to be consistent, right? Because just because you lose 3 pounds one month, you may stall the second month. You may lose only 1 pound, and then you may lose 4 pounds, and then you may, fluctuate up and down. Same applies to everything else in your life. If you want to make a lot of money, if you have this big goal to make $10 million, it's not going to be a straight line going up. I'm telling you the truth. There's going to be a lot of bumps on the road. There's going to be a lot of challenges. A lot of things will go wrong. There will be a lot of mistakes that you have to make. So by setting this realistic goal for my friend, she was actually able to achieve it. So then there's that first level of achievement, right? Like, she set this goal to lose 3 pounds and she did. And now I said, okay, now when we are able to lose 3 pounds in 1 to 2 months, now we can talk about bigger goals. Next, let's focus on losing 5 pounds the next 3 months. You see how that works? So if you were making goals in your Amazon FBA business or anything in your life, it has to be attainable, it has to be realistic, and we cannot be delusional about what we want. I find that most of us, we don't follow through with what we say we are going to do, and I was guilty of this as well. I'm very guilty of, saying all these things. Yeah, next year I'm going to make 6 figures. Oh yeah, next year I'm going to do this. Next year I'm going to do that. I'm going to start on this date or whatever. And I did not follow through before I got into business when I was at my 9-to-5 job, because I didn't think that in order to get to a higher level of success, I must start small. So my advice to you for the new year is, when you are goal setting, really sit back and just think about what is achievable and what is realistic to you. If we use Amazon FBA for an example, a lot of you guys want to learn how to make $10,000 per month in profit every month on Amazon. This is totally realistic and achievable, because we have students like Marie right here that sells just one product on Amazon. I think she's working on her second product now, and she makes over $20,000 in profit every month. And it doesn't cost her any time. It's very passive. But this is because she was able to set smaller goals in the beginning. So if you are a student of mine, then you probably already know when I talk about short-term goal setting versus long-term. The longer-term goals are always the goals that seem to be a little more harder to achieve and a little unrealistic right now, right? In the time being, it is unrealistic. But as we follow through with our short-term goals, and we make sure that we follow through with the short-term goals, the smaller, more achievable goals, then 100% you can see the bigger picture. It's very hard for you to see the big picture when you haven't even experienced the smaller picture. So another goal that I see people throwing around a lot is, I am going to retire my wife or husband or my parents. And that's a good goal, but now we need to dive another layer deeper. So when you talk about retiring someone, your loved one, how much money are we looking at? You have to be specific with your goals. A lot of people are not specific with their goals, or they don't have a number in mind, or the goal itself is, again, very unrealistic. So we need to dive another layer deeper. When you say things like, I want to retire my wife or my husband. Okay, that's great. That's a really good goal. But where do we start? How much money do they need in order to replace their 9-to-5 job, or in order for them to pay all the necessary expenses in their lives? Like, how much are their monthly bills every month? We need to do some math. So I am a very analytical business owner. I've always been. I like to analyze every single number, because without data, you just don't know what's going on. So the same applies when you are trying to lose weight. The same applies when you are trying to make money in your Amazon FBA business. The same applies when you are trying to buy a home. You have to calculate and do the proper math to see how much money you need, right? So the same thing applies for when you are setting goals. Not only do you have to be realistic, but it has to go another layer deeper. So this is why most people don't follow through with their goals. This is why I see over and over again people in my DMs, and they tell me, yeah, I will start my Amazon FBA business next year. But the next year I see them at the same place. Like, they did nothing different. They're still the same, working a job that they don't like. Their income is still capped. They have no savings whatsoever. And that is because they're not setting their goals properly. So when we are setting goals, I like to look at this like a roadmap. Just pretend you're driving a car. And let's just pretend GPS doesn't exist, because it did not always exist, right? You need to figure out where you're going, right? You're going from point A to point B. But without a map or whatever, without GPS, you don't know where you are going. You need instructions. You need to follow something to get there. So this applies to your personal and business life. You need to be setting some realistic, attainable goals within a realistic time frame. That's another topic I should discuss a different day, or else this video will go on for 5 hours. But you need to give yourself a deadline as well. So going back to my friend's weight loss journey, 3 pounds in 30 days. Cool, right? And once we achieve that, we can talk about bigger numbers. So the same goes for everything that you want in your life. If you want to buy a $2 million home, what does that time frame look like? How much money do you need? You want to retire your wife or your husband or your parents. How much money do they need? What is that time frame that you are giving yourself to reach that goal? Personally, I don't like to just set goals because it's the new year, but I know a lot of you guys do this because we have the whole new year, new me type of thing going on. So that's why I'm talking about this at the end of the year. But for me personally, I like to set goals every day. Most of these are short-term goals, like very simple goals, but the longer term, more bigger goals, I like to revisit every quarter of the year to make sure that I am on track. So this is how I was able to achieve most of everything that I want in my life. Like I'm telling you guys, you can do it too, but it all starts with drawing that roadmap and being very clear about your vision and setting realistic, attainable goals. If this video has helped you guys today, then make sure you drop me a comment in the comment section below, subscribe to my channel, and of course, give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked it. If you want a part 2, then comment below. Maybe I will talk about something else related to goal setting in my next video.